Mohsen, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you so much, Mark, for having me here.
We're at the CSGA annual meeting in St. John's, Newfoundland, and you are speaking about technology. Now, you're based at the University of Guelph. Can you talk a little bit about what you do there?
Oh, yeah. So, at first, thank you so much for giving me such this opportunity to talk. My name is Mohsen Yoosefzadeh Najafabadi. I'm currently working as a research associate in soybean breeding and computational biology at University of Guelph, and I have a chance to work with a fantastic colleague and friend, Professor Istvan Rajcan, who is a soybean breeder at the University of Guelph and actually the recipient of 2022 Plant Breeding and Genetic Award. So I did my PhD at the same university, University of Guelph, working on soybean breeding and genetics in Dr. Milad Iskandar's lab. And my focus was to implement genomics and phenomics in combined with big data analyzing methods to accelerate crop improvement, especially in soybean. So on that time, I published several papers. And one of the papers that I published, it was the first paper that I published in this area, and it was published on 2021. It was about the use of ensemble algorithms. It's a very innovative type of utilizing big data analyzing methods to accelerate plant breeding. So I published on that time this paper, and actually I had a chance to publish several papers, and it got some attention. Right now, the first paper that is published, it received around 87 citations all around the world. So yeah, and at the same time, I had a chance to work with different, in different areas and different organizations at the University of Guelph. And finally, all of those activities led me to receive the most prestigious award at the university, the D.F. Forster Medal. And yeah, so after that, I started my job as a research associate in soybean breeding and computational biology, focusing more on the computational biology area to accelerate soybean breeding programs. And I was fortunate enough as well to just receive the Young Scientist Award 2 weeks ago from the World Soybean Research Conference that was held on June in Vienna in Austria. So the reason that I decided to work in this area, like computational biology and soybean breeding, or in common terms, plant breeding and computational biology, is that right now we are seeing the world's population increase exponentially. And we will face with 9 billion people, more than 9 billion people by 2050. So there will be a huge demand for food in the near future. So, and it's not only human population, but also climate change. Right now, we are seeing the wildfire is everywhere in Canada. And it's just the beginning. And the climate change is not affected only forests, but crops. So around 65% of yield loss can be due to abiotic stresses like drought stresses, heat stresses, flooding, and all of them can trigger by climate change. Or even 11% of the yield loss can be due to biotic stresses like diseases, nematodes, pests, and all of them can spread out by climate change. So in this case, plant breeding job is to increase yield improvement and keep the pace with the changing in climate and also world's population. And I decided to work as a modern plant breeding because, plant breeding has different types, like being conventional breeders, modern molecular breeders, and modern breeding. So modern breeder is a type of breeding that we can use everything, to just speed up the breeding process. I mean everything by using genomics, phenomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, metabolomics, and even, try to find the interaction between those kind of words, those kind of omics by using novel technologies, analyzing technologies like AI, machine learnings, deep learnings, reinforcement learnings, and recently quantum machine learnings to find the biological aspects of a trait of interest. So then we can speed up the breeding process. And that is why I would like to focus more. I would like to help farmers to take the best, of the crops, to take a highest profit that they can get ever, So that is why I love to work in area of the plant breeding, especially, and also focusing on computational biology.
So you're here obviously at the meeting of the Seed Growers Association. All these technologies you're talking about, AI, genomics, phenomics, how do they benefit seed growers specifically, and what are you going to be telling the seed growers here about why this is important for them?
That's a great question. So basically, I can provide an example. So right now, especially in soybean, the soybean yield is around 46, 47 bushel per acre in Ontario. It's estimated. And by using those new techniques, we can increase, based on the several researches that I had at the University of Guelph, we proved that we can increase the yield of soybean up to 83 bushel per acre. So right now it's 47. So we can increase it 83 bushel per acre by using new techniques, not only selecting plant based on yield per se, but also selecting based on different yield components and get the best of each world and try to analyze it in a deeper context. So this is the first priority of the CSGA, to ensure the profit for the farmers, and to ensure, to farmers that they can get they can receive the best seed and the certified seed and give them to the growers to grow. So we, as a plant breeders, try to facilitate jobs for the CSGA, try to ensure those kind of seeds, try to release, increase the speed of releasing cultivars, and which will be benefits for both farmers, growers, farmers, and also CSGA as the kind of bridge between breeders and growers.
So when you think about the future of these technologies, AI, genomics, phenomics, I heard an example yesterday about hemp and how it's hard to certify hemp seed because the crop is so dense, it's so thick that you can't get into the middle of the field to assess the crop. So they're talking about flying drones over, for example, flying drones over to look at the crop, make sure it's pure, make sure it's as it needs to be. When you think about examples like that of machine learning, drones, AI in the future of certified seed production, in 5 years, 10 years, where do you see that being when you think of a practical application for seed growers potentially?
That's a great question, Mark. So let me provide another example in this area. So you just point out a good subject, phenomics. This is the one that you talk about, flying drone and take a picture of the field. It's one of the components in phenomics area, in phenotyping work. So when we are dealing with 2, 3, or 100 different plants, in the field, it would be easy to handle. How about having 2,000, 3,000? It can be handled, but it's tough. But how about 20,000, 100,000? So as we grow, the fields, as we increase the field size and grow more plants, we need new techniques. And that is why machine learning and artificial intelligence can help us. So basically in flying drone, we had some researchers in this area. We flew drone, we had drone pictures and also proximal sensing, which we measure reflectance of the plant from a meter above the plant on soybean. And we found very interesting results. So it was not only, we could detect high yielding soybean in an early growth stages, around 50 days before harvesting, but also we could detect SCN, soybean cyst nematode resistant genotypes. So at the same time, we can find the soybean cyst nematode resistant genotypes and high yielding soybean genotypes at early growth stages, which was not possible to detect it before. So AI in this case could help us to exactly extract the best result from all the tons of data that we will receive from a flying drone and take a picture. So this is where we can help CSGA or the growers to just release some cultivars that it's not benefit for them currently, but also it will be useful for them for future, for the sustainable production. And that is the meaning of the optimized breeding. So basically, optimized breeding is another type of breeding which we will try to try to maximize the trait of interest and see if we want to have the maximum, for instance, yield, what would be the other yield components look like? And we can make this kind of prediction by using machine learning and optimization algorithms, which will be so benefit. It's a great benefit for farmers. So they could get the highest yield as much as possible every year. It's not only 1% or 2% increase in the increasing in the yield, but also they can get more. And that is why machine learning and artificial intelligence can shape the future of the plant breeding area.
Fascinating stuff. Looking forward to your talk, and thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a great pleasure. And actually, here I would like to thank several people as well, and I will thank them, later on as well. But I would like to thank, Professor Istvan Rajcan, who helped me a lot and supported me in different areas, and also Milad Iskandari, my PhD, Dr. Milad Iskandari, my PhD advisor, who led me to go in this way and work. And also, especially, I would like to thank Canadian Seed Grower Association for giving me this, opportunity to talk and invited me as one of the speakers to talk about AI and machine learning in plant breeding. And especially thanks you for, taking your time interviewing me.
Thank you so much, Mohsen. Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you so much.